Breaking news. Alex Stop of Finland reposted this message. You can as well go to his X handle. You will see the message. What is the message he reposted? This is making the Finland government now to have a rethink and to change their stand on Simon Ekpa, despite the pressure from Nigeria to send the young man to prison or to even buy him. Amnesty International blames Buhari's Nigerian government for plunging Southeast into bloodshed entity. Alex Stop saw this message. Even when I went to the place, they posted the message on X by Amnesty International. They tagged him and he sent a thumb up. That means now they have recognized they are dealing with a terrorist country. And the most funniest part of it is that they don't want to get themselves or rather their hands stained or to deal with terrorist organizations. Yes, now if they really have a kind of that strong ally with Finland, why Tinubu have never visited Finland? Why he go to ordinary small St. Lucia that is just only 178,000 people? St. Lucia is 178,000 in population. Why Finland is almost 6 million? Why Tinubu or Christopher Musa never go there? To tell you that Finland have already known that these people are terrorists and they can never continue to deal with them. So for Alex to repost this message, my brother, it speaks a lot. It speaks a lot of volume. But anyway, let's just keep that aside. Some eyewitnesses don't come out to come talk wetin happen between that flight attendant, that Madam 430I, and Comfort Emerson. According to them, they said eyewitness narrates how Comfort Emerson was triggered by Ibom Air hostage. So now them come make them angry where she begin to react. Make una see wetin dey happen. In fact, I see this news. I say no be only me go hear this news. Even if I know they give Nigerian news, I must bring this one to my platform. Say we are still searching for terrorist leader Bello Tunji, defense headquarters. This is in 21st century. These Nigerian politicians and their security men think that the world is foolish or they are stupid. Bello Tunji that Tinubu have given order from ASOROCK. Clerics have went there on 3 or 4 good occasions to have meeting with this guy, which they told us he surrendered most of his arms, maybe 30% of his arms, and freed over 35 hostages. The same defense headquarters have come out now to tell us that they are still looking for Bello Tunji. Oh God, have mercy. I'm having headache. Maybe I am not hearing clear, or maybe my eye is paining me. Okay. Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his team have worked hard to stabilize the economy, Okonjo Iweala declares. Okonjo Iweala have a meeting with Soludo before going to meet Tinubu. First of all, Soludo went to meet Tinubu and came out to say his own rubbish. The same this woman who never talked anything about the killings in Biafra land, who never for one day even used his platform as a World Trade Organization president to at least say something to the world about the asymmetric warfare Musa and his boy had declared on innocent Biafrans. But she can travel all the way from Vienna, wherever she based, and come back to Nigeria to go and visit Tinubu. It will happen. Go and serve Nigeria and come back with shame. Nnamdi Kanu said it. Don't worry now. Till after having that now, maybe she come back tomorrow now and said, okay, let me go into Nigerian politics. You want to contest now for Senate president, they will tell you you are a Biafra, you are IPOB member. You want to even they want to appoint you as a vice president. No, don't appoint that woman. No, she's IPOB member because she don't serve them finish. And Ngozo Okonjo Iweala must, I repeat, she must return back to Biafra land with shame. Now me talk am, so shall it be. Dara and dara, monkeys everywhere. If you get this message, if you touch your heart, please help me circulate it or let it go viral. That Amnesty International now have triggered the likes of Finland and other Western allies to know that they are really dealing with a terrorist organization. So we move. Amnesty International on Wednesday announced the launch of its report on the security crisis in the Southeast, blaming the former president and the current president Muhammadu Buhari and Tinubu's respectively of APC. APCs respectively. According to them, he said the regime's brutal crackdown. In a statement, the human rights organization announced the launch of its latest report on the horrific security crisis in the southeast that claimed the lives of thousands and led to the enforced disappearance and displacement of hundreds of Biafran peoples. Amnesty International further blamed Tinubu and Buhari-led government for its brutal clampdown on pro-Biafra protesters, which started in 2015, escalating the crisis and bloodshed in the southeast. The Nigerian authorities' brutal clampdown on Biafrans protests from August 2015 plunged the many communities vulnerable, according to Amnesty International. They said assassinations of prominent personalities and attacks on highways, security personnel, and facilities are chilling reminders of the region's insecurity. The human rights organization noted that the Nigerian authorities must do more to protect lives in the region and ensure that perpetrators of human rights violations are being brought to justice. In 2016, according to them, Amnesty International reported how Nigerian security operatives killed not less than 150 unarmed pro-Biafra protesters, a move that escalated the crisis in the southeast. Eyewitnesses don't come forward though to give their own side of the story of what happened in that Ibom Air. A passenger on an Ibom Air flight from Uyo to Lagos has accused the airline's crew of provoking fellow passenger Comfort Emerson before the aircraft landed at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Murtala Mohammed Airport. David Ogede, a lawyer who sat beside Emerson during the August flight, told Channel Television The Morning Brief that one of the air hostesses has spoken to her in a confrontational manner both before takeoff and during the journey. Ogede explained that the incident began before the aircraft left Uyo. According to him, the first hostess provided safety instructions, politely asking passengers to switch off their phones prior to takeoff and also prior to landing. Narrating the event, he said, to be fair, Ibom Air instructed everyone clearly. The first air hostess that came told us clearly, no aeroplane mode, switch off your phone. After takeoff, you could put your phone back on. The first air hostess addressed us on an emergency exit protocols. After she did that, she spoke to Emerson. Even from her posture, it was clear she came looking for trouble. Emerson has been fiddling with her phone. I noticed she was trying to do something, but I do not know what the air hostess told her again. Switch off your phone. Switch off your phone. And Emerson replied clearly, please, the buttons on my phone to switch off are not working. They are not working, so I don't know how to switch it off. The woman repeated, no, switch off your phone. That back and forth continued until the second AOC said, look, you are even using an iPhone. You do not need a button to switch it off. The lady replied, okay, I do not know how to do it. Can you do it for me? The hostess said, I am not touching your phone. I'm not touching your phone. Just switch it off. She said, I do not know what to do. So the lady told her, okay, go to the settings. When you go to the settings, go to general. The girl looked at her and said, please, I cannot understand what you are saying. I cannot read. I do not know what you are saying or whether where I should go. The second AOC then said, I do not have time for your nonsense. Just switch it off. She asked, so is there a button on my phone? Can you spell general? The AOC began G, then E. That was the point. The gentleman on my left, and I spoke up. He said, what is going on? Do not speak to her like this. The second AOC did not even acknowledge us. She did not look our way to see that someone was speaking. At that point, I asked the gentleman to assist her. I said, please, can you just help this lady? I do not use an iPhone. I have never used an iPhone, so I am not familiar with settings and all of that. The gentleman took the phone and tried to sort it out. Okay. While that was going on, Emerson asked the second AOC, why are you embarrassing me like this? Why the AOC replied, You had better keep quiet now. If you say another word, I will deal with you. That was when Emerson flared up and started cursing. I cannot repeat what she said because the language was very strong. That was when the second AOC said, okay, you proceed, and left towards the front of the plane. She never came back. Ogede said the tension lingered until the aircraft touched down in Lagos, with passengers nearby sensing that the situation could escalate. He recalled the moments leading to landing, the disembarkation process, and he reflects on how the aircraft could have been avoided if, incident could have avoided if handled with more tact by the so-called crew. In fact, to cut this whole story short, when the plane landed, the first air hostess, the professional one, came to the front to begin disembarking. Just before it was our turn, Emerson left. I presumed she went to the toilet. I also used the toilet and saw that it was the only compartment at the back. When it was our turn to disembark, we left and forgot about the incident. That was what happened. This is what I saw and heard. As a human being, as a citizen, talking about how she was handled during the flight, with a little bit of humility and humbleness, things may have changed. The woman felt she was being attacked and singled out. And just an apology and all that calmed her down. I still insisted that if this whole issue about switching off the phone had been handled by the first air hostess, it would not have gone up at all. So some people who say, come to my government question, don't take anything about comfort. You don't know anything about it. My brother, I don't hear them now. Something triggered that action. We are still searching for terrorist leader Bello Tunji, defense headquarters. The defense headquarters had dismissed report that terrorist leader Bello Tunji has surrendered to the military. Nigeria's report that Tunji, a wanted bandit leader operating mainly in Zamfara and Sokoto states, has been accused of masterminding several attacks on communities in the northwest. Not mastermind attacks, accused of killing thousands of people. Recently, there were reports that Tunji has surrendered his arms and released 32 kidnapped victims following a peace initiative brokered by the Islamic clerics in Zamfara state. However, the director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus Kangie, during a press briefing on the activities of the armed forces on Thursday in Abuja, stated that they are still searching for Bello Tunji. He said, the simple answer to the question about terrorist leader Bello Tunji has not surrendered. We are still on lookout for him. Governor Lawal, who had been out of the state when the most recent attack occurred, said he immediately instructed the deputy governor to lead a high-powered delegation to sympathize with the victims. Upon his return to Gusau, the state capital, he visited the affected towns to assess the damage and console grieving families. The last but not the least, President Tinubu and his team have worked hard to stabilize the economy. Okonjo-Iweala, the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has commended the efforts of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in stabilizing the economy of Nigeria. Speaking on Thursday after a visit to the president in Abuja, the WTO chief said the reforms implemented by the Tinubu government are steps in the right direction. She, however, called for the implementation of social safety net for vulnerable Nigerians who are most hit by the pains of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's economic reforms. The former finance minister stated that with the economy stabilized, the next line of action is to grow the economy. Speaking with the newsmen after a closed-door discussion with the president, Okonjo-Iweala said, "We think that the president and his team have worked hard to stabilize the economy. You cannot really improve an economy unless it is stable, so he has to be given the credit for the stability of the economy. The reforms have been in the right direction. What is needed next is growth. We now need to grow the economy and we need to put in social safety nets so that people who are feeling the pinch of the reforms can also have some support to weather the hardship. That is the next step." Nigeria News report that Tinubu's meeting with Okonjo-Iweala took place 2 weeks before the expiration of her first term as WTO Director General on August 31st. 2025, and the commencement of our second term on September 1st of 2025, according to the information here. So my wonderful people are here. We'll take a break on the help of us again. When we come back, please like, share, comment, and make sure you keep subscribing for more interesting videos. I, Uklora, will be back.